Welcome to Thunder Valley, Bristol Motor Speedway, the site of race number 16. But before we go racing, we've got to get them lined up. So it's time to qualify. Getting ready for the O'Reilly 200 qualifying from Bristol, Tennessee. 77 degrees is the temperature. The inclement weather has been skirting us to the north, so we're hoping that it stays away. The forecast is for cloudy skies above us. At 6 o'clock, the Whelen Modified Tour will take to the racetrack. Always a great race here on Speed. Then 7:30, Chris DeVota will get us set up. That's presented by Polaris. 8 o'clock, the O'Reilly 200. Hello everyone, Rick Allen, Phil Parsons, Michael Waltrip with you once again as we get ready to qualify here at Bristol. Now this is one of those racetracks that we call it a short track, but I'm telling you what, it has some pretty impressive speeds.
Guys, I don't know that I ever look forward to qualifying anywhere any more than I did here at Bristol. You leave pit road here, these guys are going to get a warm-up lap or kind of a 3/4 of a warm-up lap, and then you hammer that thing down in the corner. You can be as aggressive as you want, you nail that throttle, and you get more of a sensation of speed here, Michael, than I think anywhere else we run.
Yeah, you're going to run a couple of laps right around 15, 16 seconds, and when you get done, you're going to be out of breath.
You're going to try to breathe.
And your crew's going to say, well, how did it feel? And you're going to go, I'll get back with you on that. I need a moment. That's how intense it is. But it's an important qualifying session, too, guys. The average start for race winners here at Bristol is just over 3.
Yeah.
So we need a good qualifying effort right now so that we can plan on how we're going to go win this race.
75% of the race winners here at Bristol have come out of the top 3 starting positions. So it is very important to qualify well here at the racetrack. We go down trackside to Ray Dunlap.
Well, thank you, Rick. To clarify those numbers Michael's talking about a little bit, 3.9 the average starting position of a winner. But what do you think about Todd Bodine? When we look at his number 30 truck, his average starting position at Bristol, 17th. And we've talked a lot about Todd not being that great on short tracks. Well, maybe you could say Bristol's been pretty good to this team. But the big question tonight is, do these guys go aggressive and try to go for another win to get 3 in a row, or do they gather points tonight here at Bristol? That'll be the big question as we go racing here at Thunder Valley. Adam?
And one driver we certainly will have our eyes on when the green flag goes in the air later tonight, Elliott Sadler. The last time you raced in one of these trucks, you won the pole and the race at Pocono, but I'm assuming a pole would mean much more here tonight at Bristol than it did at Pocono.
Well, that was a great weekend for us at Pocono because of the inaugural race, and be able to sit on a pole and win that race was something very special to me, very emotional. So, but to be back here at Bristol, one of my favorite tracks, man, looking forward to tonight. We were really good in practice. The GT Baca trucks really stuck to the track, ran some pretty quick laps. So, and we'll go out there and try to get the pole. Track position, I think it's going to mean a lot tonight.
You have a lot of experience here over the years, but you still turn nearly 90 laps in practice. Why so aggressive in the 2 sessions?
Well, you know, you have a good point. I do have a lot of experience here, but never in a truck. And you drive the trucks so hard here. I mean, you can pedal this thing pretty hard into the corner, and you're back in the gas so early. So a lot of it was me moving around on the racetrack to see different lines, what does what. And a lot of it was we feel like we got to get our truck really good tonight and have a shot to win. There's a lot of fast trucks out here tonight other than us, but I would love to win here in a night race. It's just a cool place to race. I'm pulling triple duty this weekend, and you can't win them all unless you win the first one. So, man, we're going to try our best tonight.
Elliott Sadler trying to become the 4th different driver to have won in all of NASCAR's top 3 divisions here at Bristol. Rick?
Elliott Sadler will roll off 22nd for qualifying this evening. It is the midweek special here on Speed. Whelen Modified Tour at 6, 7:30. Chris DeVota brings us the setup presented by Polaris. And at 8 o'clock, the O'Reilly 200 taking on Bristol Motor Speedway. Stay with us. The first truck will roll next. Speed presentation of NASCAR Camping World Truck Series qualifying from Bristol is brought to you by Camping World. Visit Camping World RV sales for the largest selection of motorhomes. Ask about our low price guarantee. Extremely high speeds at Bristol Motor Speedway as we're getting ready for the O'Reilly 200 qualifying. The first one to go on the racetrack will be Johnny Sauter. Is that a disadvantage to go out first at a racetrack like this, a concrete racing surface?
Johnny rolls right now. The track itself, I don't think, will be a factor in this qualifying session. It's overcast. The temperatures will be about the same. So, no, it's not a disadvantage as far as how the truck will stick. But mentally, I think it does hurt you a little bit to go first. You're not sure what kind of speed it's going to take. You're not not sure exactly what the track will hold. So therefore, you're a little bit nervous about your qualifying run, and nerves and qualifying generally don't mix too well together. You can't get all you got in your truck out of it if you're worried about it.
And remember, we talk about how you have to attack this racetrack, and the nice thing is they get to go an extra 3/4 of a lap here to kind of get your bearings a little bit, know how your truck is going to stick when you get that green flag.
And Johnny's warm-up lap, it looked like it was pretty sporty. He felt real comfortable in the truck, and then that resulted in a 15.653 on his green flag lap. So that's solid.
And that's only almost 0.2 of a second faster than anybody ran in practice. A 15.82 was a fast lap in practice.
I just like the way that truck looked, Phil. He slowed down on lap 2. You can see that as well. The thing wiggled with him really bad off turn 4 there. But I like the way Johnny's truck set in the turns. You could tell he was charging hard, and it stuck. Fast time there.
Yeah, that was a full 0.3 of a second faster than he had run in practice, and he was 9th quickest.
So now on the racetrack, the 81 of David Starr. David Starr was 18th quick in our practices earlier today.
New sponsor on board this 81 truck, Chasco Constructors. They're a local company out of Texas where David is from. Their first foray into NASCAR racing.
David Starr closing in on a win at Mansfield until, well, Donnie Leah moved him out of the way. And as a matter of fact, I believe Ray has Donnie Leah.
Well, they're rolling this truck up to the front of the grid, getting ready to go, and Donnie just told me that he's really having fun today. Donnie, I saw you were a top 5 there in the last practice. Saw you were top 5 in the last practice. Was that a fluke, or you got a fast truck this weekend?
No, I mean, it wasn't a mock run or anything. It was a normal race run. So we got a good truck. I'm proud of the guys. Just working real hard. You know, hopefully we can put in a good solid, top 10 qualifying effort and stay up in the top 10 all night. It'd be good for these guys. We really need it. We've had a lot of bad luck. So, right now it's just a matter of getting 2 good laps here and seeing what we got.
Okay, go get him. He's about 3 trucks to roll out to the racetrack, guys.
Rick, we talk about Donnie Lee and talk about the Whelen Modified race that's going to follow our qualifying show here. He won that modified race here in the Mystic Missile number 4 that will be in this race tonight with Bobby Santos III driving it.
I like the way this 47 truck looks too, Phil. That's Bobby Hamilton Jr. And when he left pit road, and you could see it's right down on the bottom of the racetrack, you could tell on his warm-up lap that he had a truck there that he liked and he could work with. Be interesting to see what kind of speeding. Oh, pushes up in turn 4. That'll hurt him tremendously.
Yeah, it sure will.
That'll hurt both laps too, Phil.
Yeah, he's not going to come off turn 4 as fast as he would have. 16.370 definitely hurt that. Probably, maybe as much as 3 or 4 tenths of a second.
Yeah, he had such a good run going until he got right there and the thing shot up the hill. You can see he was much more conservative on his entry into turn 3. That lap is going to result in a lap time of 16.52. But what he did on the first lap, that messed up both his laps.
Yeah, sure did. He was really good down the other end of the racetrack, but when he got into 3 and 4 and slid up the racetrack, he just didn't have that momentum getting to the start-finish line to complete lap number 1, the start his second lap.
Stacey Compton getting strapped in. Johnny Sauter taking a peek at everybody else on the track. We'll be back. More qualifying here on Speed. Tomorrow on Speed at 8, the fastest cars ever compete on an all-new Pinks All Out from Route 66 Chicago. Then at 10, Tanner Faust Aston Martin DBS challenges Paul Tracy's Bentley Super Sport on an all-new Battle of the Supercars presented by Michelin. Tomorrow beginning at 8 p.m., excuse me. And we go down to Adam Alexander.
And we're with Johnny Sauter, first truck out. It looked good. It was good on the stopwatch. What did you think?
Who knows? Yeah, obviously there's a lot of good trucks to go, but nonetheless, you always hate to be the first truck out, but concrete's not so bad. But just super proud of the guys at Thorsport. I feel like I've got a really good race truck here. I've been pretty decent all day, and didn't get to do a mock qualifying run in practice, so it was kind of a guess, I guess, and it was just a little bit free. I think somebody's going to probably beat that, but nonetheless, that should be pretty solid, get us to the top 10 hopefully, and I know we can race it from there.
Impressive qualifying run for Johnny Sauter, Ray.
Well, let's hear from Kyle Busch. Back-to-back wins here at Bristol, but Kyle, this week it's with your own team. How's your truck so far in practice?
Seems to be pretty good. The Tundra's not bad, so real proud of the way these guys have worked and done a nice job getting ready to come up here. Can't thank NASCAR Race View enough, and 18% off this rest this weekend through Saturday if you guys want to sign up and get NASCAR Race View for the rest of this year. So pretty cool deal to be promoting that, and of course NASCAR.com. But are you going to try to win my Tundra?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I don't think I can enter because I have a NASCAR hard card.
I don't know. I don't know what the rules are. Go check them out.
All right, so Kyle Busch Foundation is going to have a giveaway the Tundra on this truck. We'll tell you more about it tonight on the setup.
Clay Greenfield 5th quickest in his qualifying effort of the 5 that have been on the track. In practice earlier, he was 33rd quick.
Yeah, he ran a 16.45, Rick, so he slows down a 10th. The big loser so far in this qualifying session is Bobby Hamilton Jr. He'd run right down around a 16 flat in practice earlier today, and to back all the way up to a 16.37, that's almost 4/10 of a difference. That's tough.
Yeah, the first 12 trucks, Michael, in practice were only separated by a 1/10.5. So for Bobby to back up 3/10, that's probably going to put him towards the back of the pack, I would think, and on the starting grid.
When he left pit road, he had aspirations of being toward the front of the pack, and it looked like when he got down to turn 3, everything was going right to plan, and the truck got away from him.
Donnie Lee on the racetrack now in the 07 for his qualifying effort. Lap number 1 for Donnie, second quick, 15.761.
You know, this S&S Greenlight Toyota this week. This is, I think, maybe the first time that they've run a Toyota. They have a Pro Motor Toyota motor in this truck. So Donnie Lee is very, very excited about this opportunity with S&S Greenlight Racing. A little slower on the second lap, about 0.12 or about 0.09 of a second slower.
So Johnny Sauter has set the mark at 15.653. Can anyone battle him? Welcome back to O'Reilly 200 qualifying. Our point leader, Todd Bodine, now on the racetrack in his Valvoline number 30 Toyota Tundra.
Look at the way that front end of that truck's up in the air, guys. We talk every week about the attitude of the trucks on the straightaway. We want to get that aero package down. We need that nose seal. Look, he's up 6-8 inches going down the straightaway. It slams to the ground in the corners. That's just a different philosophy, the different way you have to attack this speedway. Obviously, great lap for Todd, good lap for Todd, 15.81. No one's really been able to pick it up on lap 2. If he could do so, he'd get a couple of spots here. He could go all the way up to second with just a small pickup. Let's see if he can do it.
Such a big night for Todd here with that huge point lead. Would just love to survive this place. Slowed down about a 1/10.5 on lap number 2, Michael, as you were talking about. But 4th quickest, I think that time right now is about a 1/10.5 off Johnny Sauter's. I'm not sure that that's going to make the top 10.
We go down to Ray Dunlap.
Well, the truck that Jason White is driving tonight is called Bullet, and you had a Bullet here a year ago. You ready to go after Kyle Busch again tonight?
Man, we're ready. This was an awesome race for us to lead the most laps last year, and hopefully we'll give Kyle a run for his money tonight.
What'd you learn in practice today, Jason? Are you as good as you were a year ago?
Yeah, we are just as good. The tire's a little different. It's a little looser, so we changed a couple things, but we got basically the same truck, same setup as last year.
All right, good luck. Jason White in the Gunbroker truck.
He said looser. Are we talking a harder compound? Is that why he thinks it's a little looser of a tire?
Well, there's a couple things that could lead to that, Rick. A harder left side or right side, obviously, but also stagger. They put more stagger in the tires. There's a difference in the size from the rights to the lefts. That will make it turn well also and make it looser too. Second place for Stacy Compton, 15.729.
Good run for Stacy. See if he can pick it up. Just about a 0.5 slower on lap number 2, but that's another truck that gets in between Johnny Sauter, our leader right now, and Todd Bodine. Now Todd's back to 5th of the 8 trucks that have been on the racetrack.
And we talked about how important it is to qualify well here. Of the 12 races that have been run, 8 have been won from a top 3 starting position.
That's roughly 75%.
I'm glad you've done the math. Mike Skinner now on the racetrack for his qualifying effort. And anytime you talk about qualifying, you've got to mention Mike Skinner because, well, he's won about 100 of them.
Yeah, and when I talk about qualifying and talk about Mike Skinner, Bristol is one of the places that comes to mind first because this is a Mike Skinner kind of track. You got to be aggressive. You got to really throw it down into the corners and then get back to the gas. Mike's really good at that. It looks like his truck's a little tight. Remember some of the guys early in the run were down on the bottom. He's up in the middle of the track. Was it good enough?
Not quite good enough, but a pretty good lap. Second quickest so far, 15.713. Would you believe it if I told you Mike Skinner's best start this year was 4th?
No, and
shocking.
He's a qualifying machine.
Lap number slower, so he's second. Now just almost a 10th behind Johnny Sauter. Adam Alexander.
Rick, Todd Bodine, 6 of the 9 drivers that have been on track. Not the numbers I expected from you. What did you think, Todd?
We haven't been good since we unloaded. Just hard to drive. It gets down in the corner and just turns itself sideways. And right there, we did the same stuff and then was tight off. So I don't know. We gotta keep in mind the big picture, and that's what we're trying to do. We still want to run up front and win races, and Valvoline is on board because of that. We won for him in Texas. We wanted to win for him here. We're just gonna have to go out, run a smart race. Just not do anything that's going to take us out of a decent run. And I'm sure we'll adjust on it and get it better and get this Toyota Tundra to run the way it normally runs.
Some ground to make up for the point leader at the start tonight, Rick.
Ricky Carmichael on his first lap was 7th quick. Lap number 2 just a bit slower. So Carmichael will slot himself in 7th out of the 10 that have been on the racetrack. Stay with us, more qualifying here on Speed. Saturday NASCAR race day is from right here in Bristol. Join JR, Kenny, Kyle, Wendy, and Hermie as they get you set up before NASCAR's best battle in Thunder Valley. NASCAR race day built by the Home Depot, live from Bristol Saturday 5 Eastern on Speed.
Man, when you come to Bristol in August, things are heating up. The championship battle, just the accomplishment that getting a win here at this Speedway feels like. These guys I know are really charged up, and everybody's thinking about a win, except for maybe your guy, Phil. Todd sounds like he's beat, right?
He really did. I'm telling you, he's not going to qualify probably in the top 15 here. This race has never been won from any farther back than 12.
Right.
And that was when Travis Waffle won the race, and he wasn't going to win.
By default.
By default, because Kevin Harvick was going to win that race, and he cut a tire down coming off turn 4, coming down for the white. So track, and track position is one thing, and certainly important. But another thing qualifying shows you here is you have a good truck. You have a good truck, Ray.
You have to have a good truck, guys, no question about it, or you have to have a very well-repaired truck. And look at this number 3 for Austin Dillon. When you look at the front of this truck, you'd never know that it just didn't come out of the showroom. I mean, these guys did great work. You may be wondering what I'm talking about. Well, in practice earlier today, Austin was trying to come off of turn number 2 to come in and get a tire sheet. He locked up the brakes and made contact with the barrels at the end of the back straightaway. They had a lot of damage on the nose of this thing, and they have gone to work. But right now, if you're 15 feet away or even 3 feet away like our camera, you'd never know that they did any damage to this Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet.
Thanks, Ray. One thing I do know is Kyle Busch is fastest in qualifying. 15.604 on lap number 1.
He's pretty serious about going for 3 in a row, isn't he?
Right to the top of the chart. Now, Ray was talking about that practice incident with Austin Dillon. Here's a look.
Austin was coming off the racetrack after practice and misjudged it and came in a little too hot. You see the damage on that Bass Pro Shop Chevy.
The barrel's still on it.
Ran into the barrels coming off turn number 2. The barrels that protect the end of pit wall.
I got some good news for Austin. Back in 1992, when I won the nationwide race here, I was leaving the pit. It was a rainy, cold morning. They got the track dry. I was leaving the pit. They didn't get the apron dry. I spun around and hit the outside wall, tore my nose off my car. We pulled it into pits, fixed it up, and we went on to win the race that day. So maybe that's something that Austin can hang his hat on. Maybe that's a good sign for him too.
Adam Alexander.
Mike Skinner with a pair of poles here at Bristol Motor Speedway. You're not going to be the fastest in qualifying today, but that was pretty good, Mike.
You know, our Exide Batteries Tundra has not been terrible all day. We've been just about a tenth to half a tenth from where we really want to be. I didn't have the grip in the front end that I really wanted right there. It's almost like we need a little different spindle package and get it to cut a little bit better, but then tighten it up another way. But the guys have done a good job, and I'm proud to drive this truck, and hopefully we have a good night tonight.
Driver number 5, currently 3rd, Ray.
Well, and Timothy Peters, number 17, is rolling up to the front of the line. About 5 trucks to go before he goes, and we'll see real quickly if he doesn't have the helmet on yet. Timothy, how's the tool chest today?
Tool test Toyota Tundra is pretty good today. You know, again, Jeff Hensley, all the guys, awesome truck, carrying the momentum in from Darlington. Just hope we can get us a good solid lap. You know, we're really good in race trim, so I'm looking forward to tonight.
You know, the last couple of weeks you've been at the top of the list in practice and haven't been able to pull it off. What are you going to have to do to make that happen?
I don't know, but just very happy with everything that's going on, all the surroundings. Tom DeLoach gave me an awesome opportunity. With metal cutting tools on board, you know, like I said, everything is going perfect right now. Just hope we get us a good lap, solid, and be there at the end tonight.
Okay, good luck. I have a feeling this 17 will be a factor tonight here at Bristol, guys.
Thanks, Ray. Jason White coming off the racetrack. He's 8th quick in his qualifying run.
Pretty inconsistent.
Yeah,
exactly the same laps to the thousandth of a second.
And you know, it appears, guys, that you need to get it done here at Bristol on lap 1. We've only had 14 trucks qualify. The top 10 trucks all went faster on lap 1. So it feels like maybe the tires will have just one good lap in them. You give it all you got on lap 1, and hopefully it's fast enough.
And remember, these guys for the first time ever, get a warm-up lap here too. They have typically always gone off the front stretch and got the green the first time by. This time they're sending them off the back stretch, and they get about 3/4 of a lap more of a warm-up, and so that may, that's more time on those tires as well.
It's more time on the tires, and it also gets another truck. Matt Crafton qualifies in the 9th spot. His fastest lap was the first one as well. So these guys get warmed up in that one lap too, Phil. They know exactly what their truck has, and they can charge that first lap hard.
One of the fastest trucks out there during practice was Timothy Peters. We'll see how he does. Welcome back. O'Reilly 200 qualifying continuing. Now it's Eric Almirola's turn on the racetrack.
We talk about Kyle Busch winning the last 2 times here. Well, this is the truck and the team that he drove for when he won. Richie Waters, the crew chief on this truck, was talking to him early, and he said he thinks they have a pretty good truck here. Made some fine-tuning adjustments on it prior to qualifying. Eric Almirola's had a terrific season. 2nd points coming in here with 2 wins already.
Ray Dunlap.
Well, you'll have no problem finding Ron Hornaday tonight. He has a beautiful orange paint job with Tide on it. How's your truck in practice today, Ron?
Pretty good. We didn't do a qualifying run. It started raining on us, but we got some good notes from the 2, so we'll see what we can do with this Tide Chevrolet. It's got a heck of a lot better, so we're looking forward to tonight's race.
Okay, I'll tell you what, guys, he's going to have quite a uniform collection at the end of this year.
Well, and that's a good thing. Sponsors are great.
Todd Bodine's back in the 7th spot, Phil, and you talked about how he's going to drop through the field outside of the top 10. We believe this is a truck right here that will probably knock him back one more spot. But he's gotten really fortunate. He ran a 15.81. The trucks lined up behind him ran an 84, 85, and an 88. And why I say he's fortunate, this place is so tough. You just look at a half a tenth will keep him ahead of those trucks. And you want every bit of track position you can possibly get from the time they say go all the way to the checker. Another truck, Austin Dillon, 15.88. So out of everyone that's run in the 80s, Todd's the fastest, and that's important.
Austin Dillon has 3 poles already this season, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen here at Bristol today. Again, a repaired truck. He jumps all the way up to 6th on his 2nd lap, so he is one of the rare drivers in the top 10 that have their fastest lap on their 2nd lap. Right now, everyone's chasing him. Kyle Busch, can he win 3 in a row? We're about to find out. NASCAR Camping World Truck Series qualifying from Bristol is brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. The 10 of Jennifer Jo Cobb on the racetrack now for her qualifying effort. Jennifer Jo Cobb in practice earlier was 38th quick, so not a stellar performance for her in practice. We'll see if she can back up her practice time. Well, actually struggling there in her qualifying run to 16.522. That's 16th quick of the 18 that have been on the track.
That's about 3/10 quicker than what she had practiced, so a definite improvement for Jennifer.
The guy that was hopping off that truck we said had won 2 in a row and was on the pole.
Right.
He didn't look like he is
was
on the
not
pole.
Happy.
He was all mad. What's wrong with him down there, guys?
And the reason Kyle Busch was not happy is because they think there is an issue under the hood. Eric Phillips, the crew chief, told me it's possibly the valve cover. You can see the crew has gone to work, but there is no question after he qualified, he was not happy. He got outside the truck, they looked under the hood, a little smoke rolling. He talks with crew chief Eric Phillips and then watches Kyle Busch walks away. A lot of frustration. Nice morning of practice, great qualifying effort, but it may go for naught. He could very well have to start at the rear here tonight, and it appears he will with the changes the crew is making right now.
Yeah, when they lift the hood, I mean, this is an impound situation. They lifted the hood and started working on that. So obviously he's giving up his top spot. And now we've got Timothy Peters coming off the racetrack. He was 3rd quick in his qualifying effort at 15.677. Ray, what else is going on down there?
Well, Rick, I just wanted to add to that. In the first practice this morning, Kyle came off the racetrack and said he had 0 oil pressure under the hood right then. And they said, no, we don't think it's a problem with the engine. It was just a reset on the gauges. They reset that, went back to work, and everything was fine then. I'm just wondering if there's any chance that those 2 items may end up being related.
It's a good question, Ray. I don't know how they could be. Certainly, those gauges nowadays, the lightweight gauges, you have to reset them occasionally. I know that. And then if they went under the hood and started working, on a leaky valve cover or something, then that's certainly a different type of issue. but under the hood means starting in the back, and Kyle Busch realizes that, and I think that sort of speaks to the fact of starting in the top 3 wins your races here. You need to be up there in order to have that track position to think you got a real shot at winning, and he's not going to be there when they throw the green.
Yeah, is it impossible for him to win back there? No, but it's never happened before in 14 previous races.
Justin Lofton, 10th quick. We see some of the officials talking with Rick Wren. Oh, Rick's smiling. Stay with us. More qualifying. Tonight, the battle is in Bristol, right here at Bristol Motor Speedway. The world's toughest trucks bump, beat, and bang around the world's fastest half mile. You won't want to miss NASCAR Camping World Truck Series live from Bristol tonight, 7:30 Eastern, only on Speed.
Okay, we've got a potential pole sitter on the racetrack right now. There's Elliott Sadler.
Phil, it's crowded up there at the top, too, with 60s. You got Kyle Busch at a 60, Sauter at a 65, 67 for Peter. So you need to be down in the 50s, obviously, to get the pole. But when you start seeing that many trucks run that fast or those close of times at the front, a 50 is going to be hard to find. Can Elliott Sadler do it? He did it at Pocono, didn't he?
He sure did. He ran an 82 in practice, and I know he got blocked in his second lap, and I heard him on the radio say, yeah, I had a lot more left. So hopefully he's going to find it right here.
He's on the clock.
I like the line of that truck, sort of in the one groove off the bottom.
Second quick on lap number 1 for Elliott Sadler.
Another 60, Rick.
15.652. He's got to pick it up 5/100ths of a second if he wants to take the pole away from Kyle Busch. Does he get it coming out of 4? No, slows down. Adam Alexander.
Let's hear from Austin Dillon. Ray talked about the issues you had in practice. You rally back from that and a solid top 10 effort in qualifying.
Yeah, the guys did a great job. I made a mistake getting on pit road and just got in too hot. And I guess it was a rookie mistake. Got those yellow stripes on the back, and I showed it earlier today. So the guys did a good job putting it up there, and hopefully we can stay in the top 10 with that. The truck's really fast race runs, so we'll just have to see how it goes tonight. It's a fun track. It reminds me back of the dirt racing stuff, the way the grooves are. I mean, you can really move around.
Who's been giving you advice for tonight's race? Because this is a tough place.
You know, I just everybody at RCR, just trying to take a little bit of advice from everybody. It's a tough place, so any help from everybody that's around our team is good.
Baptism by fire for a rookie, Ray.
Well, I want to hear from the driver of the Great Clips Tundra. You've been to a lot of racetracks in your life, Brad, but anything quite like Bristol?
I'll tell you what, I just came from the Knoxville Nationals last weekend, and I thought that was pretty amazing. And I rolled the truck into the first corner here this tonight. You know, this place is amazing. It's got a ton of bank, and you know, things happen really fast. But my guys, we got a pretty good Great Clips truck here this weekend, and hopefully we can get it up front.
Can you believe they ran the World of Outlaws here once?
I really can't believe it. I can't believe with the amount of banking and how fast and light those cars are that they were able to, you know, not hurt somebody here.
All right, go run your truck into the bank fast, okay? Brad Sweet, driver number 90.
You know, the modifieds qualified earlier, and they ran under 15 seconds for a lap here.
That's quite a ride, isn't it?
How about that infield? Now, a lot of work's been done to this place since we were here in the spring. They've essentially leveled the infield, actually lowered it probably 1.5 feet, 2 feet, something like that. Now all the buildings are on each end, and now we could have that big football game in the infield.
Well, it certainly fits perfectly to have a football game, but what I really love, as they lowered the infield, all these folks that come to buy a grandstand ticket and watch a race here at Bristol, they can see more of it now. There's a better line of sight, and that's fun. And speaking of line of sight, I love this truck. I know my brother Daryl's really happy to see a Tide truck on the track, and this is a great looking truck, and it's fast too. Her on-horn today, 15.71, 6th fastest so far.
That's one of those low 70s. If you're going to be in whatever bracket you're going to be in, you want to be on the low side. Kyle Busch was a low 60, Ron Hornaday's a low 70. And he jumps up a little bit to a 66.
Now he's a mid-60, and I think he'll be happy with that.
He's a mid-60s kind of guy. But I love this, guys. We got 60s, 70s, all the way down to 15th spot. There's an 80. So we're talking 0.3 of a second covers all these trucks. It's amazing how tight it is here at Bristol.
Adam Alexander.
Just tell that to Elliott Sadler. You just missed knocking off Kyle Busch. Anything you could have done different there?
We were just a little bit too tight, but the truck's gonna be really good tonight. So when the sun came out, we did a few more things with our air pressure and just made it a little snug. But truck drove good. Kyle put down a great lap, but just proud of everybody at KHI bringing us another fast truck. We should have a good run tonight, have a little fun, and hopefully get to celebrate with a little GT vodka tonight. Got tomorrow off.
It would be the second consecutive race Elliott had done that.
Now, Mario Goslin's on the racetrack. His first lap, he was 22nd quick. I want to go back to really almost Elliott Sadler and talk a little bit about his situation. If Kyle Busch does go to the back of the field because of adjustments that they make to this truck, they would actually move the inside line up, and the third fastest qualifier would get the pole. Is that not right?
Not necessarily. It depends on which side Kyle Busch chose to start on. The pole guy has the right to pick inside or outside. So if he chose to start on the outside, then that line would move up, and then Elliott would be beside whoever starts fourth. So we don't know how that'll all play out. If I'm Elliott Sadler, I go to Kyle Busch and say, which side, which side you gonna pick? Because I know which one I want.
Well, but Elliott Sadler is going to have to start on the outside no matter what.
No.
Won't it?
Not if he's second and Kyle Busch is first, and Kyle Busch chooses to start on the outside, then Elliott goes to the
Even
inside.
though he's not going to start on the outside, it's still his choice as the pole sitter. If he, obviously, if he stays up on the pole.
Now, I know you know a lot about this, and as we all three do, but I think people are home going, what are they talking about?
Well, I guess my question...
Who are they starting where?
My question would be, why would Kyle still get to choose inside or outside if he's making adjustments and they know he's not going to be able to go?
He's still a pole sitter until they do the pace lap. But remember, guys, Brad Keselowski was the fastest truck in practice. Let's don't give him that pole yet.
What about this run by Jake Crum? All the way to a 15.80. Gets him the 11th fastest starting spot. Another truck that slips ahead of Todd Bodine.
Qualifying continues here on Speed. Stay with us. Back to O'Reilly 200 qualifying from Bristol Motor Speedway.
This starts our go or go homers. We have our 25 trucks that are locked in, have already qualified.
Check out Patty. He's got a good looking truck right down the bottom, and a good nice looking head of hair too.
He was 27th quickest at practice.
Picks it up quite a lot.
Yeah, pretty good lap. 20th quickest, 16.329 on lap number 1 for Patty.
We go back trackside to Adam Alexander.
Rick, Ron Hornaday can be kind of quiet and sneaky in the garage, but you're not going to hide from anybody today in this truck.
Yeah, not tonight. Really, it's pretty cool to wear the Tide colors. Watched it many years ago around the racetrack, and I get a chance to drive it, so it's a lot of fun. And Kevin Lane is definitely putting some good sponsors together, and I got to thank Tide and Chevrolet. Everybody was involved. This is a cool year.
Fourth place qualifying run. How do you feel?
Elliott said he was going out there tight, so we left our air pressure low, and we should have bumped it up like his. It just real too free. We didn't get a chance to do a qualifying run, so just really loose, getting in and up to the middle, but good forward bite off, but I probably just slowed the middle up because I was just trying to catch the truck. So we'll take that. That's probably what we need for tonight.
Hornaday, a two-time Bristol winner.
Well, Adam, down on my end, I'm going to talk to Brad Keselowski. He's got a pretty good day job in the Sprint Cup, chasing a championship and nationwide and a hobby over here in trucks. But I know you brought a brand new truck. How is it?
It's really fast. Just watching Buscher, man, he's a heck of a qualifier, so he's pretty fast too. But somebody tough to beat the 18. We've got a shot at it. The Ruby Tuesdays Ram has been fast. Just, you know, been a lot of fun. Like you said, built a new truck and just out here trying to have some fun and win a race. And I think we've got a great shot of it tonight.
Do you push it hard for the pole, or do you just get whatever it gives you?
You know, I think I will on the second lap, but you know, not being locked in the show on the first lap, we got to make it in.
Okay, good luck to you. Brad Keselowski, Ruby Tuesdays, number 29.
Well, just as Brad Keselowski said, he's a pretty good qualifier. Second quick for James Buscher. Now, the technology that we have up here, our monitors show different colors for the guys who are go or go homers. And right now, James Buscher has a yellow block beside his, which means he's still kind of on the bubble. I don't think he's on the bubble at second quick.
I think that lap stands a pretty good shot of getting in.
Yeah, you see it on the hat as well. It was yellow and saying on the bubble. But again, we've got enough trucks here that somebody's going to have to go home. And so right now, of the few that have been on the racetrack, he's still considered not locked in.
Well, I'll even go down to say Mike Garvey's going to make this race too. That's a top 20 qualifying run for him in that 93 truck. 16.037, currently 19th fastest. That'll make this race as well, Phil.
Yeah, I think so too. We're going to have 40 trucks attempting to qualify for the 36 spots. So I'm telling you that the Patty Rodenbach 16.329, I think, would stand a good chance getting in.
I believe so too.
He's 22nd right now of the 28 trucks that have qualified. Remember, 25 of those trucks already locked in the field.
What about Jake Crum running up there in the 12th spot, man? That's a great run for him. I love seeing kids show up and get this stuff. I think they're with him down on pit road.
Let's hear from him, Adam.
And he is a kid, Rick, 18 years old from Statesville, North Carolina. Some experience here at Bristol. How much did that help you in that qualifying run?
Well, it definitely helped me a little bit, you know, with Honeydew Chevrolet. It was a little bit free. I should have listened to the crew chief. You know, he said he was going to tighten it up a little more, but I was kind of doubting him, but I wish I would listened to him now.
You're only 18, but it's just a matter of time before you find out what honeydew really means, all right?
That's right. Hopefully we can get something on board, for a full season next year. But right there, it was an awesome run, for my debut. But hopefully we start up in top 15, top 20, and we can just miss wrecks and go from there.
Good luck.
Thank you.
He's certainly right, Rick. That was an awesome run for that guy to get up there to the 12th spot so far.
And he will also learn what honeydew means when he gets a little bit older. Dennis Setzer still waiting to qualify here in the trucks. Go back to qualifying. Brad Sweet just catching his breath in turn number 3 before he took the green flag.
He was coming to the green and looked like that thing was all the way sideways, loose as he got down into turn 3. And darn, Phil, that messes up your whole qualifying effort, doesn't it? Oh, no, he's got to hang on to it. He's got to make this show on time.
So Brad Sweet pushing it to the limit right now in his number 90 Great Clips truck.
Just like we talked about, when you get in trouble on coming off of turn 4 on the first lap, it's going to affect the second lap. 1664 probably will not get in this show. Brad needs a lap here.
And lap number 2, does it improve? It improves a bit. 16.431, but he is the slowest of the go-or-go-homers.
Man, that was a ride for him, too. It was sideways the whole time. I'm sure he was driving it just the way he had in practice, but the thing wouldn't stick. Look how sideways, guys.
He almost lost that thing right there. Coming off his best finish at ORP, he finished in the 8th position. That was the last time he was in this truck 4 or 5 races ago.
It amazes me you can get sideways on banking that's 30 degrees.
It amazed him, too, I guarantee you.
He was able to do it.
If it was 40 degrees, you could still get sideways.
Right on line.
Well, I want to talk to Dennis Setzer. I heard you on the radio in practice saying the front nose was dragging a good bit. How hard is it, Dennis, to get a balance between trying to coil bind and go fast and yet still make it drivable?
It's really tough here, Ray. The banks are so big, it really compressed the front of these trucks. We actually had the sway bar tube on the track a little bit, so worked hard on that. And then Mike Hess, our crew chief with Black's Tire Service, does a great job, but we're kind of still new at this, trying to get all the information together on our trucks, what each truck does and stuff, but he's doing a great job. They're learning a lot of information fast.
A brand new team, Dennis. How hard is it to get everything put together and make it where you can go out there and be competitive?
These guys have raced so much. They have a lot of experience in the Pro Cup Series. Now they're moving up the Truck Series. They're doing a great job, but this is still a different animal. We've got radial tires thrown in the mix. Fortunately, we got Fleet HQ on the side of this thing. They've come in and helped Ricky Benton on this thing, and it means a lot to us, but a big learning curve for all of us right now.
Okay, lots of experience for Dennis Setzer, and how about that run for James Busher? I believe he's standing by with Adam.
Another impressive qualifying run for James Busher, but you do it again without getting that number 1 position.
Yeah, we can't seem to set this 31 truck on the pole, but it's P2 right now. We'll see if it stays there, but everybody's been working really hard on this volunteer Chevrolet, and I can't thank Turner Motorsports enough for letting me drive these things. They're a lot of fun to drive every week, and this will be 7 out of 10 races that we've been qualifying in the top 3 and don't have a pole, so I think we'll stay in the top 3. I think we might get beat by the 29, but we'll see. Maybe we'll hang on to a front row starting spot, but I don't know. Our truck was pretty good in practice and race trim. We never even did a mock qualifying run, so I think we got a pretty good truck for tonight, and we'll be starting up front.
Regardless where he goes from here, it'll be a solid starting spot for a place like Bristol. Rick?
Chris Jones coming off the racetrack. He was 18th quick in his qualifying run. Kenny Schrader still to qualify. Welcome back to O'Reilly 200 qualifying from Bristol Motor Speedway. It's Hermie Sadler's turn on the racetrack in that number 48.
I was talking to Hermie's truck owner, Andy Hillenberg, who owns Rockingham Speedway. We're going to have the ARCA finale there in October. And Andy was telling me that they have a special now. You can get 4 tickets to that race through September 15th, 4 hot dogs, and 4 cheer wines for $44. $44. But you have to do it by September 15th. So just go to RockinghamSpeedway.com and order your 4-pack for $44.
I'm doing the math. That's $11 for a ticket to the race, a hot dog, and a soda.
And a cheer.
Unbelievable.
It is incredible.
And racing at Rockingham is like it used to be. You go down there and those guys are running all the way from the bottom of the racetrack to the top, sliding around. I love racing at the Rock, and the ARCA finale at the Rockingham Speedway is going to be a great weekend. I'm looking forward to checking that out.
How about that ARCA series? They've had 58 different first-time winners, I think, this year.
Everybody that hasn't won yet.
That might be an exaggeration.
They just win. I think it's interesting. You look at Elliott Sadler. Sadler, guys, he's in the 3rd spot. I wonder if he's over there rubbing up against Kyle Busch saying, pick the inside, Kyle, if you're going to the back. I want to start on that pole.
Ray Dunlap.
5 top 10s so far this year for Kenny Schrader. Back in your own equipment, so how's the Federated Auto Chevy this weekend?
Little truck was real good in practice. Didn't make a bonsai run, but we went from driving a truck that was leading points to sweating getting in, so it's a pretty big change for us.
Tell me about this racetrack, Kenny, and how it is now that they've made the changes. Do you like the way Bristol races?
I love the way it races now. I hate not all the fans like it. It's a lot better race than it used to be. Might not be as quite as exciting of an event.
Okay, Kenny Schrader tonight, he'll be piloting the number 52 truck.
Well, Kenny's talking about moving guys out of the way. You don't really have to do that anymore because there's 2 lines around
and
here.
We've seen guys come to the start-finish line to win races side by side, even close to 3 wide in the nationwide race a couple years ago. So the racing is crazy here, and that hasn't changed a whole lot. There just isn't quite as many wrecks. Max has a good run, 15.92 on his 2nd lap. That slots him into the 19th position.
And locks him in as well.
And his teammate on the racetrack now, Miguel Paludo in the number 77.
Wonder what Miguel thinks about all this stuff here at Bristol Motor Speedway. I bet it makes your eyes wide open. Probably second only to Darlington when you go out and try to make a run, a qualifying run specifically, as to the thrill that you get. Darlington certainly with the wall so close and running high like they did, right next to the concrete like they did last weekend. But then here, just all the speed. And what a great run for Miguel. He got 16.03. That puts him 21st. That'll make this show, too.
That's a very international team that Jermaine is forming now. You've got Miguel from Brazil. You've got Max from Italy. And you've got Todd from that country in New York.
Yeah, Shimon.
And so Miguel Paludo, fast on his first lap, 16.030, locks himself in. Right now, the man on the bubble is Hermie Sadler at 16.276. Stay with us. More qualifying here on Speed. Max Pappas putting the helmet on. Speed's presentation of NASCAR Camping World Truck Series qualifying from Bristol is brought to you by Camping World. The Camping World Destination Recreation Sweepstakes is back, and it's better than ever. Camping World's offering more prizes and more chances to win. Visit campingworld.com and enter today. And by Toyota. Now on the racetrack, the 89 of Mike Harmon. And his first lap not as quick as Hermie Sadler, so that will lock him into this show. 16.449 for Mike Harmon, and it's going to be difficult for him to make this show.
And actually, Brett Butler, the 16 truck, I think broke in practice, so he's not even going to make an attempt. So that will lock Hermie in. Right now, I think Carl Long would probably be the truck that would also be locked in because of Brett Butler not being able to go.
And this is a truck that was really fast. This is a fun qualifying session for us, guys. There's your pole sitter so far. He's got some problems under the hood. One of the fastest truck in practice, Brett Keselowski, is on the track now, and then followed by Kenny Schrader in a truck or two. He's the track record holder here at Bristol, so we're not going to know who's going to have this pole till the very, very end.
Brett Keselowski obviously having a lot of success in the Nationwide Series this year with a huge lead.
Wow, that's a good-looking lap.
6 quick for Brad Keselowski.
One of those 60s, but he's a high 60. He needs to be the lowest 60.
How about that? The first 7 trucks all in the 60s, 0.6 bracket.
15.671, lap number 1. Lap 2, a little bit slower.
And remember, Brad has to take it a little bit easy, knowing that if he really slips up coming off turn 4 really badly and screws up both laps, then he could go home. So he has to be a little bit cautious. So 6th place, a great run for Brad.
16 is not going to be able to start, so it still has Rodenbeck on the bubble, which is 16.329. If you beat 16.329, you're in this race.
Carl Long now is locked in at a 16.247.
And I think this truck will lock in. Dennis Sutson's got so many laps around here. He should be able to put this number 92 truck in the field. Didn't look really good in turn 1 and 2. Got a little loose in. He chased it up the hill a little bit, so that'll hurt his speed, but still should be able to good enough to get it in.
Boy, it's
He's got to work. 16.372. He's a little over a 1/10 of a second slower than what he practiced this truck in, so he's got to work to get in.
He needs that 1/10 of a second right now.
I think he'll get it. That first lap, he really messed up getting into 1. Does he pick it up?
He does pick it up just in front of Patty Rodenbeck to a 16.314, so a little faster for Dennis Setzer, and that will lock him into this race.
Here's the last truck for Kenny Schrader.
That's bad news for Patty Rodenbeck, because he had a pretty decent lap, but by 1/100th of a second, he's on the outside looking in, and you got to feel like Schrader, our track record holder here, at 15.11, Rick, almost a sub 14-second lap Schrader run here in 2004. So he'll probably have a pretty good shot at getting this truck in the race at least.
Yeah, Kenny ran a 16:10 in practice. That was 20th quickest, but as he mentioned, he didn't get a chance to make a mock run. We had a little bit of rain that cut about 20-30 minutes out of our second practice. That kept a lot of trucks from making that mock run. See what Kenny does.
Is he in? Yes, he's in. 18th quick for Kenny Schrader, 15.852. So another truck under 15.9. We have 20 trucks under 15.9 seconds in qualifying. Kenny Schrader on lap number 2. Picks it up just a bit, 15.840, so he's 16th quick of the 40 trucks that were here for qualifying today.
Okay, the first guy is in the 15.6 second bracket, and the 20th place guy is in the 15.8 seconds bracket. That's why we're going to have such a crazy race tonight. These trucks are all running basically the same speed around here.
Kyle Busch wins his 8th career pole in his 77th race, but you see the hood is up. Adam?
And we're in the garage area talking to a couple of guys that are very happy after the qualifying run. Talking one to Max Pappas, who made the announcement earlier today he will be full-time in 2011 in the Camping World Truck Series, and you back it up by going out and putting this 9 truck in the show. Congratulations.
Yeah, first of all, I'm really excited about the lap we did in the Geico Tundra. It was this is tough. We came over here, we didn't practice a qualifying run. But the most incredible things that you guys are going to see me in a Geico Tundra next year, all year long. And I've been waiting so long to race full-time in NASCAR. This is a great opportunity. Thanks to Geico, thanks to Toyota, thanks to Germain Racing. It's going to be a blast. Me and Todd Bodine as a teammate is going to be great. I'm really, really excited. And, this is one of the biggest things happened so far for me in my NASCAR career.
And Max, you may have a second teammate as well, and that's a driver that's making his NASCAR debut this weekend, Miguel Paludo. You also made it into the show. Congratulations. What do you think of this place?
Thank you. It's awesome. It's awesome. First time here. I never run in the track like here, like it's banking fast like that. So it's pretty cool. I'm really happy for the sponsors, Tank of the Line Toyota, and put the car in the show in the first race. I mean, yesterday it was raining. Today we got some hours there was rain. And I'm fine now. I'm happy, and I hope to do a good show and be in the next races and do a full season next year.
Glad to have you here. Best of luck tonight.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Ray?
Well, Adam, the guys up in the booth were trying to figure out what would happen. In fact, Kyle Busch does have to go to the rear of the field. Well, I just confirmed, in fact, he does. Even though he won his 8th career pole, he'll have to go to the back because of the changes they made, having the hood up. Now, here's the situation. Kyle does not get to choose whether he wants the inside or the outside. Because he's going to the rear, he must start on the inside. He'll drop down and go to the rear of the field. That will move Elliott Sadler up into the #1 starting position as we go green tonight here in Bristol.
Well, there you have it.
Well, that's weird.
We could have just waited until we got that explanation from Ray.
I thought he had to declare where he was going to start.
Yeah. Well, James Buescher will start on the outside then. Elliott Sadler will start on the inside. But again, it is still Kyle Busch's 8th career pole. He was fastest in qualifying, but some adjustments being made are going to relegate him to the back. Can he win from the back? Find out. Qualifying has just concluded for the O'Reilly 200 for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Our front row, Kyle Busch and James Buescher. Well, sort of. Kyle Busch was the fastest and won the pole, but they went under the hood, made some adjustments, so he will lose his #1 starting position. He'll have to start at the back, Phil.
He'll be on the front row for the pace laps, but that's going to be it.
We go trackside to Ray Dunlap.
Well, there's some really good news for Kyle Busch. #1, he's won at this racetrack in all 3 divisions. #2, you got a new sponsor this week. #3, you got the pole. But the bad news is you got to start in the back. So how hard will it be to come from the back and win again here at Bristol?
It's going to be pretty tough. Here at Bristol, everybody says it's a nice racetrack. It's fun. You can race side by side, but it's kind of hard to pass on when guys get stuck racing side by side. So you know, you have to make it 3 wide, have to make some moves, try to get back up towards the front. But, you know, the NASCAR.com track pass race view Toyota Tundra was really good in practice. It had good race time runs and stuff. So I'm hoping that we can be able to come through there and battle this thing out. But with probably only 1 pit stop tonight, maybe 2, depending on how the tires are, you know, it's going to be hard to get track position.
I've seen you make some pretty crazy moves, so I want to know, are you going on the outside? Are you going on the inside? I guess it'll matter who you're passing, right?
It'll matter who you're passing. It'll matter where they go. If they slide up, you probably go to the bottom. So I don't know if there's going to be much room on the apron here like there is Atlanta, but I'll certainly try to find out.
Okay, they have a 2-piece valve cover in these trucks, and his was broken. They had to repair it. That means he doesn't start on the pole. He'll go to the back. Adam?
And Stacy Compton qualified in the 9th position. You guys were solid in practice, and you were able to back it up in your qualifying run, Stacy.
Well, we were. I tell you, I'm proud of the guys at Safe Auto Weiler Chevrolet. When I ran a lap, I thought, man, that's a pretty good lap, and they kept knocking us back, but truck was really good in practice, first and second practice. So it's Bristol, man. I can't wait to get this thing going, and rain's going to hold off. It's going to be a good night.
Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
And let's take a look at the lineup for tonight's race. Again, Kyle Busch, James Buescher make up row number 1, at least for the pace laps.
You know, I talk to fans a lot of times. They say, why do they let the fastest guy start in the front? That doesn't seem like a very good idea. It'd be much more fun if they put the fast guy in the back.
Well, let's just do that.
We'll put the fast guy in the back. And tonight on Speed from Bristol Motor Speedway, you can see if he can figure out how to work his way to the front.
Now, an emotional win for Elliott Sadler the last time he was in the truck at Pocono. He will now move up, and he'll start on the front row.
That'll be a bit of a gift for him, but Elliott had a great truck in practice. But how about that run by Jake Crum? First ever truck starts in row number 14. And how about our point leader, Todd Bodine? He's right in that area where business is going to be serious.
That's exactly right. Schrader squeezed his way in with a good solid qualifying run. Chris Jones, Max Pappas, all these guys had to get in on time. Back to Dennis Setzer, who just made this race, Phil, by 1/100th of a second. That's how close things are.
I want to know, as we see the guys who failed to qualify, do you think it's possible? Can Kyle Busch win this race from the 36th starting position?
Certainly, yes. And it won't mess up the fact that over 75% of the drivers have won from the front, because officially that's where he's going to start from.
Yeah, if anybody can do it. And the thing is, they talk about this race being with strategy. I know the last 2 years here, Kyle pitted around between lap 35 and 45 for his only pit stop, and then ran the rest of the way. Starting back there, he may be able to make 2 pit stops, and then he will be able to get maybe 2 adjustments to make that truck even better and better.
Again, up next, it's the Whelen Modified Tour in this 7:30. Chris Devoto with the setup presented by Polaris. 8 o'clock, the green flag will drop on the O'Reilly 200. Before we get to the Whelen Modified Tour, we're going to head back to the Race Hub studios. Danielle Trottle will give us a news update. So stay with us here on Speed.